What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in Khaliis Take. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So let's talk about the point guard that the Clippers are looking into. Now, of course, we know the Clippers definitely can use a point guard. It's not a secret. And right now, if you ask me, they can use any position as far as a trade in regards to if they're getting somebody that's worth it. Not trade for somebody who they think that might possibly work out. It has to really be a true fit to what they're trying to do. And as I said before in the previous video, if you're getting rid of valuable players, you better get somebody very, very good in return. So let's just go ahead and talk about the point guards. So the point guards that I'm hearing that are available, that are being looked at by the Clippers as of right now, you can check it out on websites, pretty much every one of them, Sports Illustrated, all of them, they got, let's see, Kimball Walker, Goran Dragic, of course, John Wall, Jalen Brunson off of the Dallas Mavericks, and they have Dennis Schroeder. Now, those are point guards that I will all say that are formidable, all have had big games, or, have, played a significant role on a team, I should say. Some have been in the NBA Finals. Well, actually only one, I believe, in Goran Dragic, but a lot of NBA experience there. So the only question I have is, who would the Clippers actually give up for those players? Now, to me, as I said before in previous videos, if you tell me Marcus Morris, if you give me Eric Bledsoe, if you give me maybe somebody down far on the bench, I don't know if they would let go of Jay Scrubb or not. I've heard his name being thrown out there before. So those three players are the ones that you have to shop. I'm just going to leave Luke Kennard out because I think they would be dumb to let go of Luke Kennard or trade him, because I just feel like he's one of those guys off the bench that they're going to need if they're trying to win a championship when Kawhi and PG comes back. He's a part of their bench mob that makes them a really, really deep team. Him, Terrence Mann, players like that. But I've also heard Terrence Mann being shopped out there or put out there as well. So it's certain players, as I said, I wouldn't trade. But I mean, hey, that's just my opinion at this point. But those are the point guards, or the list of point guards that are out there. Now, I did hear some rumblings about Spencer Dinwiddie as well, but I'm not too sure about that one. So we'll just stick with the first five that we spoke on. Now, let's just talk about how the others will fit. So when I say Kimball Walker, how would he fit with the Clippers? He could possibly, actually all five of them possibly could. You don't want to rule out any player, but at the same time, really in actuality, how would they fit in regards to helping them win a championship? To me, the only one on that roster, to me, that I just named, probably that would actually help them give them a good chance to win would probably be Goran Dragic, if you ask me. But if I had to pick maybe one or two more, I probably would go out of all, let's see, out of six of those players I named, I feel like three of them could give them a chance to possibly win. And I would go with Goran Dragic. I would go with Spencer Dinwiddie if he's available and he's healthy anyway. And I would probably have to go with, it would be a toss-up between Schroeder and Jalen Brunson, but I actually like Jalen Brunson a little bit better. I feel like he's more, I don't know, short, compact type, built hard mentality type dude. When I look at Jalen Brunson, a lot of you might not remember, but he kind of reminds me of a Derek Fisher type player. Not saying, I don't know if a lot of you remember Derek Fisher back in the day on the Lakers with Kobe Bryant, won all those championships, but he just reminds me of a player like that. Short, compact, he can knock down a shot, left-handed, and he's not afraid of the moment of being fearless of going in the paint. I feel like a lot of games won by the Dallas Mavericks, he has a big part of doing that as being the backup point guard to Luka. And I feel like he's very, very underrated as a young player in the league. But I would say those are the players I feel like that would give the Clippers the best chance of winning. And that's what it's all about in the Clippers. It's all about winning. It's not about anything else. So Clipper Nation, if that's the point guards that you have to pick from, then you let me know which point guards you think actually can help the most. Because right now, as I said, those are the ones that I see. And if I had to pick an order, I would personally go with Goran Dragic first. Then it'd be a toss-up between him and Spencer Dinwiddie, but I would go with him first, and then Spencer, and then I would go with Jalen Brunson. The reason why I'm not too big on Dennis Schroeder, I saw what happened to him last year in the playoffs with the Lakers, when he was on the Lakers. And to me, he just doesn't impresses me in regards to helping a team win in the playoffs. I don't think he has those type of winning intangibles. I just don't feel like he does. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I just don't feel like he does. I don't feel like what he brings to a team can actually help them win. I mean, he can get into the teeth of a defense. He makes nice layups and things like that. But if it comes down to him hitting the shot that's going to help you win the series, or the fourth quarter coming through, knocking down big shots or playing defense or something like that, I don't see him as that type of guy. I don't think he's good on defense. I don't think he can knock down a big shot for you. I don't think he has an edge to him that I feel like players need. Sometimes you need a player with an edge to him, mentality wise, a player that'll go out there and just give you everything they have on both ends of the floor. And they're just 100% productive at all times. That's why I said I would take Jalen Brunson over him. I feel like Jalen Brunson is a very, very productive type, small, compact point guard. I mean, he actually did damage to the Clippers last year when the Clippers played them in the playoffs. He didn't average that many points, but when the shots he hit, they did damage. And they put the Clippers on notice, like, hey, you're about to get eliminated, until Kawhi Leonard saved the day and turned into the basketball god that he is, along with, Luka playing as good as he did and everything like that. I feel like Jalen Brunson came off the bench and had some big minutes for them last year in the playoffs, and he's shown that he could be that type of backup point guard, or he's shown, honestly, in some games I've seen, he's shown that, to me, he could be possibly a starting point guard in the league, because he shows that he has a basketball IQ, and his game looks seasoned to me. It doesn't look like, he doesn't really play like a rookie a lot of times when I watch him. So I definitely would take him over Schroeder. Of course, John Wall, a lot of people think, I'm just 100% hating on John Wall. John Wall has always been a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but remember, the Clippers are trying to win a championship, and Kawhi Leonard, your leader of the Clippers organization, the Clippers staff, and the Clippers everything. Kawhi Leonard's everything. And Kawhi Leonard said after they imploded in the bubble, we need players that don't panic. We need players with a high basketball IQ. John Wall doesn't have a high basketball IQ. He just doesn't. I mean, because if he did, he was in the Eastern Conference years ago, and the Wizards couldn't get past the second round. The only other team in the Eastern Conference back then was LeBron's team. That was it. Well, you could add the Bulls too, but that was when Derrick Rose was healthy, which wasn't that often. So, he never really been able to carry a team anywhere, or actually got anywhere in his career to say that he's the type of point guard that can get you places. He doesn't have a jump shot, and he's all athleticism, really. And in this league now, you need a point guard that can knock down shots. Do you see Stephen Curry? Do you see everybody else shooting from the logo? Do you see players stepping back with a step back three, off the dribble now? Every player has that in their game. So where does John Wall really fit in the league now? He's all athleticism, no jump shot, and it's not going to help you win in this league. Hell, even if you look at Derrick Rose on the New York Knicks when he come back, shout out to him. He's been good since he's been on the Knicks once again, but I mean, even he has a jump shot now because the league is way different than what it used to be when Derrick Rose was dominating, when John Wall was playing at a really high level. It was all about athleticism, dunking still, and showing how high you could jump. Now it's about stepping back, shooting a three from the logo, or, with a step back three and a jumper in somebody's face. And that's what the NBA is about, because Stephen Curry helped make it that way. Kevin Durant helped make it that way. Kawhi Leonard with the mid-range, jump shooting. Basically, a jump shot is what it's all about. And this is what I'm talking about. John Wall doesn't have that. So he really wouldn't be helping the Clippers because he can't space the floor. And that's the problem that you see with the Lakers, with Russell Westbrook. The reason why the Lakers can't play that well or play to their level, because Russell Westbrook can't spread the floor, because he's not a jump shooter. He's a slasher passer. That's what he is. He slashes to the basket, get nice dunks and layups, and he's a really good, he's a really decent passer, which is the reason why he averaged a triple-double, for 2 years straight, I believe. So this is what I'm saying. The league really doesn't have a place for players like that because it's not predicated on athleticism anymore. That's the reason why players like Russell Westbrook and John Wall really don't fit with a lot of teams, and that's the reason why they can't help a lot of teams win a championship, because they can't space the floor. And when you look at the list, as I said, Kimball Walker can do that, but Kimball Walker is so up and down. Kimball Walker is all about stats. He doesn't play really like to win, to me. He's not a winner type player. That's just not who he is. So you got to X him out. And he barely, at one point, Tom Thibodeau on the Knicks didn't even want to play him because he wasn't even playable. And it wasn't just because of the rift they had. It's just because his game doesn't really equate to winning. His game looks like he needs to be on a basketball court playing street ball in New York somewhere, doing and one moves. That's what his game really is. His game is flashy, is sexy, it's all that, but what it's not is winning. And that's been his whole career. Really, if you look at him, he put up great points in Charlotte, but honestly, Charlotte Hornet fans forgot about him because LaMelo Ball is more of the player that they like, more of the player they need, because with his passing ability, LaMelo could probably average a triple-double if he wanted to every night. And I'd say 2 or 3 years from now, he'll probably be averaging a triple-double. And when you got players who can pass and score and shoot, Charlotte Hornets definitely forgot about Kimball Walker. He's an afterthought for them, because LaMelo is the player that they need that's going to help them win. They look like more of a winning team now than they did when Kimball was there. So this is what I'm talking about. You need players who can help you win, not players who could just put up points. And between him and John Wall, they could put up points, but they can't help you win. And if you think about where the Clippers are now, as I said before, the window of opportunity is closing to win a championship. You got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on there as your two leading stars. You need to win a championship. You don't need players on there that can just fill up the stat sheet. Filling up stat sheet is not what it's all about in regards to winning. You have to be able to do multitude of things in regards to having the mindset of intangibles to help your team win. You got to have the mindset to be a champion. You have to play like it. You have to hustle on both ends of the floor. You have to understand situational basketball. You can't panic when you're down 10 points and it's 3 minutes to go in a basketball game and it's game 6, and you're down, 3-2 in a series. You can't panic. Players like John Wall will, because you know why? Players like Kimball Walker will. You know why? Because like I said, they don't have a jump shot. They can't space the floor. So if you're down by 10 points with 2 minutes to go, they're not a weapon. They're a liability just because they can't shoot. Or no, Kimball Walker can shoot, but John Wall, which a lot of people want him to be traded to the Clippers, he's a liability because he can't shoot. So he would be a non-factor on the floor when the game get tight, because he really can't do anything offensively, because it's a jump shooting league now. This is the reason why I said Goran Dragic out of this list, really, hands down, is probably the best one, even though he's older. And I understand, because he's older, a lot of people don't want to look at Goran Dragic. But like I said, he's got NBA Finals experience. He's helped lead a team, the Miami Heat, to the NBA Finals that year in the bubble, and he's always been a crafty player. He's always been really good at understanding how to be effective, even though he's not athletic, even though he's not the fastest, and even though he's not the best point guard. Everybody in the league always knew who Goran Dragic was. Everybody always knew how good of a player he was because he's just truly skilled, and he's left-handed too, so that definitely helps. But that's the same thing I say about Jalen Brunson. So to me, if I were the Clippers, I would definitely look at those two out of the list more. And Spencer Dinwiddie I would definitely probably take a Spencer Dinwiddie if they're able to get him. I just don't know contract wise, all that type stuff. I don't know if that would fit, or I don't know how they would pull that off with Spencer Dinwiddie. But yeah, you definitely couldn't hurt, acquiring a player like him, of course. But I just don't really see how they would get a player like him. That's why I'm kind of sort of leaving Spencer Dinwiddie out of it some, because I just don't see them being able to pull that off. Anything's possible, but that's highly unlikely, but there is a chance, but I'm not too sure about that one. But we'll see how it goes. But hey, that's my, picks on the situation, because those are the ones out of the list that's, pretty much given that the Clippers are looking at, that I feel like that gives them the best chance to win. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section. As always, let me know what you think. And hey, Khaliis out.